Argentina, where glaciers crash into turquoise lakes and desert plateaus rise like ancient monuments. A land that rewrote the relationship between humanity and landscape over 10,000 years ago. For millions of years, this remarkable country has been shaped by opposing forces, ice carving through stone in the south, while sun bakes clay into sculpture in the north. Within this dramatic collision of elements, human creativity found its crucible. When the first settlers crossed into these territories 12,000 years ago, they encountered environments so diverse they required completely new adaptations. These pioneers didn't just survive, they reimagined their relationship with the natural world, creating unique cultures shaped by the landscapes themselves. What is it about Argentina's geography that continues to inspire such innovation? How does a single nation, encompassing subtropical jungle, windswept grasslands and subpolar forests, create such distinct cultural expressions while maintaining a unified identity? Our journey spans from the thundering majesty of Iguazu Falls to the end of the world in Tierra del Fuego, revealing connections between landscape and culture that casual visitors might miss, but which explain Argentina's extraordinary creative spirit. Join us as we explore Argentina, where every landscape tells a story of extraordinary drama and human ingenuity that transforms both. Welcome to another Cultureverse exclusive, another journey into our extraordinary world. We arrive in Argentina's capital as morning light catches the facades of European-inspired buildings. Streets pulse with movement. Pedestrians navigate tree-lined boulevards, while motorbikes weave through traffic with choreographed precision. Buenos Aires stretches along the western shore of the Rio de la Plata, South America's widest river. So vast, its opposite bank remains invisible. This metropolitan hub of 15 million people blends Latin passion with European architecture, creating a cultural crossroads unlike any other in South America. What visitors notice immediately is how the city breathes with its own rhythm. Every Sunday, major avenues transform into pedestrian zones, where families stroll and cyclists reclaim urban space, a tradition dating to the 1970s that turns concrete into community. These streets reveal a fascinating pattern in human development. Unlike cities that expanded outward from a single point, Buenos Aires grew alongside its immigrant waves. Each neighborhood, or barrio, evolved its own character. The colorful buildings of La Boca reflect its Italian origin, while Recoleta's stately mansions showcase French influence. Porteños, as Buenos Aires residents call themselves, share their urban habitat with surprising biodiversity. The ecological reserve of Costanera Sur hosts over 300 bird species. Burrowing parrots have adapted to city life, building colonial nests in palm trees along the boulevards, their raucous calls adding nature's voice to the urban symphony. As evening approaches, neighborhood milongas come alive. These intimate gatherings reveal tango not as tourist spectacle, but as living cultural expression. A dance born in the port's immigrant communities that transform personal connection into art. From the cultural heartbeat of Buenos Aires, we travel northward to witness one of Earth's most spectacular displays of water's raw power. The helicopter approaches through rising mist as 275 cascades reveal themselves. A curtain of water stretching nearly 2 miles across the border between Argentina and Brazil. The thundering roar grows louder as we descend toward the Devil's Throat. Iguazu Falls formed roughly 120 million years ago, when a massive volcanic eruption created a crack in Earth's crust. Today, up to 450 cubic feet of water pour over these precipices every second, making them the world's largest waterfall system. What most visitors don't realize, these falls shift location over centuries as water gradually erodes the soft sandstone base. Visitors follow elevated walkways that bring them face to face with curtains of falling water. The experience engages every sense. The cool touch of mist on skin, the thunderous sound reverberating in your chest, and rainbows dancing through water droplets suspended in air. This environment demonstrates what scientists call an ecotone, where two distinct ecosystems meet and create unique conditions for life. Here, subtropical rainforest transitions into river habitat, creating niches for specialized species. Great dusky swifts nest behind the waterfall curtains, their remarkable adaptation allowing them to fly through torrents of water unharmed. For the indigenous Guanani people, these falls represent the furious response of a forest deity who is betrayed by his mortal lover. Even today, this mythology shapes how local communities interact with the falls. Reverence and caution intertwined in their approach to this natural wonder. As sunset approaches, rainbow-colored macaws return to their roosting trees near the falls. Their brilliant plumage flashes in the fading light, nature's final display before darkness transforms the experience into a symphony of sound. From the tropical abundance of Iguazu, we journey to a landscape where water is scarce, but has shaped one of Argentina's most distinctive cultural regions. Forming, light reveals rows of vines stretching towards snow-capped Andean peaks. Workers move deliberately between trellises, inspecting clusters of Malbec grapes, their practiced hands assessing ripeness with a touch. Mendoza exists because of an engineering marvel that began over 500 years ago. The Huape indigenous people transformed this desert into fertile ground through a complex irrigation system. These ancient canals, called acequias, still line city streets and vineyard edges, bringing Andean snowmelt to parched soil. What makes this region's wines distinctive isn't just soil or climate, but elevation. Mendoza's vineyards grow between 2,000 and 5,000 feet above sea level, among the highest in the world. This extreme altitude stresses the vines, producing smaller, more concentrated berries that create wines of exceptional depth and character. The landscape has shaped a unique human adaptation. Unlike European wine regions, where villages cluster together, Mendoza's population dispersed alongside the canal network. This pattern of settlement, spreading rather than centralizing, demonstrates how water access directly influences human geography. At Bodega Catena Zapata, we witness harvesting techniques virtually unchanged for centuries, while technology assists modern winemakers. The fundamental relationship between farmer and landscape remains. Each vine requires nearly 50 decisions throughout its growing cycle. A conversation between human judgment and natural process. As evening settles, snow-melt-fed irrigation canals reflect orange-tinged clouds. The surrounding desert would reclaim this paradise within weeks, without human intervention. A reminder that some of humanity's most celebrated achievements emerge from our most challenging environments. From vineyards nurtured by Andean snowmelt, we journey northwest to a landscape sculpted by wind, where elements have painted Earth's surface with extraordinary color. Morning mist rises from mirror-calm waters as we glide across Lake Nahuel Huapi. Emerald islands emerge from the fog, while dense forests climb steep mountainsides, a landscape carved by glaciers but nurtured by volcanic soil. Bariloce sits at the northern edge of Patagonia, where the Andes Mountains create a rain shadow effect. Western slopes receive up to 118 inches of rainfall annually, creating temperate rainforests, while just miles away, eastern plains receive barely 15 inches, demonstrating how mountains fundamentally alter climate patterns. The region's unique beauty stems from a violent past. Volcanic eruptions deposited rich soil, while glaciers sculpted valleys and lakes. This combination created microenvironments where specialized plants evolved, including the ancient Aleca tree, which can live over 3,000 years and serves as a living climate record. At Lau Lau Peninsula, we observe hoodoo deer, the world's smallest deer species. Standing barely 14 inches tall, these miniature mammals evolved their diminutive size as an adaptation to dense forest undergrowth. By growing smaller rather than larger, they found their perfect ecological niche. European immigrants, primarily from Germany and Switzerland, settled this region in the early 20th century. They brought alpine architectural styles, and chocolate-making traditions that transformed the area's identity. Their buildings, designed for heavy snow loads and using local timber, demonstrate how cultural practices adapt to new landscapes. As evening approaches, the setting sun illuminates the snow-capped peaks of Tronador volcano. Its name, the Thunderer, comes from the booming sound of ice breaking from its glaciers, a reminder that even seemingly permanent landscapes constantly change. From mountain lakes reflecting snow-capped peaks, we travel south to witness one of Earth's most active geological features, a glacier that defies global warming trends. We approach across turquoise waters of Lake Argentina as an immense wall of ice rises 240 feet above the lake's surface. The glacier's face stretches 3 miles across, a frozen river that seems motionless until a thunderous crack announces calving ice. Perito Moreno is extraordinary not just for its accessibility, but its stability. While most of Earth's 48 zero glaciers are retreating, this massive ice flow maintains equilibrium. Advancing as much as it recedes, the glacier moves forward up to 6 feet daily, grinding bedrock into fine powder that gives the surrounding waters their distinctive milky turquoise color. Visitors witness geology in action as massive ice chunks crash into the lake below. Each calving event releases ice that formed from snowfall up to 400 years ago, making this one of few places where we can directly observe centuries compressed into moments. The glacier serves as habitat for specialized microorganisms that thrive in conditions that would kill most life forms. These extremophiles have evolved antifreeze proteins in their blood and cellular structures that prevent ice crystal formation, adaptations that medical researchers now study for organ preservation techniques. For the indigenous Tehuche people, this advancing ice wall was more than natural wonder. It was the embodiment of Kuch, a mountain spirit requiring offerings before crossing. While scientific understanding has advanced, local respect for the glacier's power remains unchanged. As afternoon light shifts, the glacier's surface transforms from white to blue to nearly purple, colors revealing different densities of ice compression and air bubble content. What appears as artistic beauty is actually a visible record of climate history. From the ancient ice of Patagonia, we journey to the extreme southwest, where mountains meet ocean at the very edge of the continent. Morning reveals Ushuaia nestled between snow-dusted mountains and the Beagle Channel. Ships dock alongside colorful buildings in this city that calls itself El Fin del Mundo, the end of the world, the southernmost city on Earth. Tierra del Fuego, land of fire, got its name when early European explorers observed the numerous campfires maintained by indigenous Yamana people. These natives developed extraordinary adaptations to survive in what Charles Darwin called the most inhospitable place on Earth. They maintained near constant fires, yet wore minimal clothing, developing metabolic adaptations that allowed them to withstand freezing temperatures. Ushuaia's unique position creates extreme seasonal variations. Summer days stretch to 17 hours of daylight, while winter days shrink to just 7 hours, demonstrating how latitude fundamentally alters human experience of time. This dramatic seasonal shift has shaped local architecture, which features large south-facing windows to maximize precious winter sunlight. In Tierra del Fuego National Park, we find forests unlike any others on Earth. Southern beech trees have evolved to withstand hurricane-force winds, known locally as the Roaring Forties. Their trunks grow twisted and flagged, permanently shaped by persistent winds, creating what botanists call crumb holes or crooked wood formations. The Beagle Channel itself represents a geological miracle, a mountain valley flooded by rising seas after the last ice age. This transformation from land to sea corridor created a unique environment where orcas and penguins navigate between mountains, once traveled by land mammals. As darkness falls, early in winter, late in summer, the lights of Ushuaia reflect across the channel. This isolated outpost, originally a penal colony, now serves as humanity's gateway to Antarctica, the final frontier of exploration on our planet. From Earth's southernmost city, we journey to the windswept expanses of Patagonia, where unique adaptations allow life to thrive in one of the world's harshest environments. We traverse an endless plateau where gale-force winds sculpt low vegetation into rippling patterns. Wild relatives of llamas stand vigilant on ridgelines, their long necks silhouetted against the massive Patagonian sky. Patagonia's steppe extends over 260,000 square miles, an area larger than Texas, and represents one of Earth's least populated regions. This semi-arid plateau receives less than 12 inches of rainfall annually, while enduring some of the planet's most consistent winds, creating conditions where only the most specialized organisms survive. Plant life here demonstrates extraordinary adaptation. Many species grow in perfect domes called cushion plants, their tight formation creating microclimates that can be up to 15 degrees warmer than surrounding air. Others develop extensive root systems that extend 60 feet underground to reach water tables, while keeping minimal surface exposure. Guanacos have evolved unique adaptations for this harsh environment. Their split upper lips allow precise selection of nutritious plants among thorny vegetation. Their red blood cells carry 40% more oxygen than similar mammals, an adaptation to both elevation and low nutrient diet that early Andean cultures noticed and interpreted as spiritual power. The human history of Patagonia reveals our species' remarkable adaptability. Indigenous Tajil people developed specialized hunting techniques and nomadic patterns that followed seasonal resources. When European sheep farming arrived in the 19th century, it transformed the landscape, demonstrating how quickly human activities can alter even the most resilient ecosystems. As evening approaches, the steppe's vastness becomes even more apparent. Stars emerge with exceptional clarity in some of Earth's least light-polluted skies. This celestial display guided indigenous navigation for millennia before modern travelers discovered its majesty. From windswept expanses that challenge survival, we journey north to a landscape where volcanic forces have created one of Earth's most dramatic mountain formations. First light illuminates granite spires rising abruptly from forested valleys. Mount Fitzroy's distinctive peak catches sunrise before the surrounding landscape, its sheer faces creating a natural cathedral that has become synonymous with Patagonia itself. Fitzroy formed approximately 12 million years ago when molten magma rose through Earth's crust, but cooled before reaching the surface. Over millennia, surrounding softer rock eroded away, exposing the harder granite batholith beneath. This differential erosion process explains why the mountain appears to rise so dramatically from the surrounding landscape. For climbers, Fitzroy represents one of Earth's ultimate challenges. Its smooth granite faces and notoriously unpredictable weather mean successful ascents remain rare achievements. The mountain can experience 4 seasons in a single day, from clear skies to blizzard conditions in hours, demonstrating how elevation creates vertical ecosystems with their own weather pattern. The indigenous Tuelche people named this peak Chalten, meaning smoking mountain, because its summit is often shrouded in clouds that resemble smoke. This phenomenon occurs when moisture-laden Pacific winds hit the mountain's cold stone, instantly condensing into visible vapor. A perfect example of how mountains themselves generate weather. Andean condors, with wingspans exceeding 10 feet, ride thermal currents around the peak. These massive birds have evolved to use landscape-generated air movements rather than flapping their wings, allowing them to travel hundreds of miles daily while expending minimal energy. A perfect adaptation to Patagonia's open spaces and variable winds. As shadows lengthen, Fitzroy's western face captures alpenglow, a reddish light phenomenon that occurs when sunset illuminates mountains after the surrounding landscape has fallen into shadow. This natural light show transforms the granite from grey to gold to fiery red, creating the otherworldly scenes that have inspired artists and adventurers for generations. Our journey through Argentina reveals a profound truth. Landscapes don't just provide backgrounds for human activity, they actively shape who we become. Our journey through Argentina reveals a profound truth. Landscapes don't just provide backgrounds for human activity, they actively shape who we become. From the thundering power of Iguazu Falls to the silent majesty of Patagonian glaciers, Argentina demonstrates nature's extraordinary range of expression. But what makes this country truly remarkable is how these diverse environments have inspired equally diverse human adaptations, each finely tuned to their specific context. The Guarani people built entire cultural systems around tropical abundance, while Patagonian inhabitants developed technologies to thrive in windswept austerity. European immigrants adapted their traditional practices to new environments, creating distinctive wines, architecture, and cuisines that reflect both their origins and their adoptive landscapes. Argentina reminds us that human ingenuity doesn't exist separate from nature, but emerges in conversation with it. The Gaucho's horsemanship, the Mendoza vintner's understanding of altitude effects, the Buenos Aires architect's response to subtropical humidity, all demonstrate how environmental challenges catalyze human creativity. As our world faces unprecedented environmental challenges, Argentina offers valuable lessons. Its most successful communities, from indigenous tribes to modern eco-villages, share a common approach, working with natural systems rather than against them. Perhaps this represents the deepest insight from our journey, that human flourishing doesn't require conquering natural forces, but rather understanding and aligning with them. In this respect, Argentina's diverse landscapes serve not just as breathtaking scenery, but as teachers of environmental wisdom. From the heights of the Andes to the depths of the Atlantic shelf, from subtropical jungles to subpolar forests, Argentina showcases our planet's extraordinary diversity and humanity's remarkable capacity to find home within it. Another journey into our extraordinary world.